Hello friends, welcome to my channel Nice Soch. I am your host Pankaj Mehra. This is my second video and most of the time I prefer to have my videos for the exporters, mainly the MSME customers. Today we are going to touch upon an issue which is quite relevant in the present circumstances. Before understanding the LIBOR transition, we should understand what is the LIBOR. LIBOR is basically an interbank offered rate and it is a benchmark rate on which many of the complex derivative and the residential mortgages are tied up. Popularity of the LIBOR has declined over time, basically because LIBOR is an unsecured. It's an unsecured rate, and this is being replaced by more secured rates like SOFR, SOFR. SOFR is a secured overnight financing rate which is being published by the New York Federal Reserve, and this is backed by the US Treasuries, and this is being published every day. So what was the need of having a new benchmark rate when you already have a very popular LIBOR? So for understanding this, we have to understand two things. Basically the two reasons which have triggered this LIBOR transition are the decreasing use of LIBOR as a benchmark rate. Post financial crisis, most of the bank they have shifted their benchmark to more secured rates because of the capital requirement. The second one was the LIBOR scandal. LIBOR scandal rocked the financial market in year 2012, where it came to the notice of the regulatory agencies that it was a panel of very few banks who decide the fixing of LIBOR in a particular day, and mostly it was based upon unverifiable judgment of the panel and based on the very few questions that is being asked to the individual banks. So what was the question? So the banks were asked, if you have to borrow the fund, then what rate would you offer for a marketable size, that too before 11 am? There was no actual transaction. It was basically the bank were asked, what rate will you offer? So this provided the banks an opportunity to manipulate the LIBOR. So they formed a cartel because it was hardly 18 banks. It was hardly 18 banks which used to answer this question to the and submit their code to the British Banking Association. And whenever they are in need of fund, means they have to borrow, they used to quote a lower rate. And whenever they have to lend, when they are they have the excess cash, excess money, so they used to quote a higher rate. This scandal came to a notice when few of the media houses they saw some disparity in the actual rate and the road rate being quoted for fixing the LIBOR. There was a time when almost contracts more than $300 trillion were tied up with the LIBOR. But after this scandal, the regulatory agencies across the world they started looking for the alternate reference rate. The British regulator FCA, that is their Financial Conduct Authority, FCA decided to seize the LIBOR by the end of December 2021 for most of the LIBOR setting. As you can see in the timeline, 31st December 2021 is the date where the FCA will not ask the panel, it will not compel the panel bankers to submit the LIBOR rates, and they have informed all the member banks not to enter into any new contracts benchmarked to LIBOR after 31st December 2021, and all the new loans or the products have to be linked to the new benchmark. What is the reason for the LIBOR being so popular? The main reason is early adoption. When you adopt something early, it becomes popular, acceptability increases, it's adopted by so many people, institutions, countries. So it becomes indispensable. You can see the example of Microsoft Windows operating system. So it's not so easy to get them replaced. Finding the replacement for something which is already established is not so easy. Same thing happens with the LIBOR as well. But ultimately, the risk was more than the reward. So the FCA decided to seize the LIBOR, and they have come out with the timeline. If you see the timeline provided by the FCA, you can see that majority of the currencies, the LIBOR will cease to exist on 31st December 2021. So the currencies are the Euro, JPY, Japanese Yen, CHF, that is Swiss franc, Sterling, that is GBP, and for the weekly and the 2 monthly settlement of USD LIBOR. How do we understand the benchmark rate? In India, we have witnessed so many benchmark rates. Earlier, it used to be BPLR, then it was shifted to base rate, then the present MCLR, marginal cost of lending rates. RBI on 1st of October 2019 mandated that all the loans which are for retail customers, that is your housing loan, auto loan, or the loans that are marked for the micro and the small enterprises. So they should be linked to the one of the benchmark, that is either the RBI repo rate or the 3-month or 6-month treasury bill rate or any other benchmark rate which is being published by Financial Benchmark India Private Limited. So what was the reason for this? The main reason for having a common benchmark rate was to have a better monetary transmission. So when we talk about monetary transmission, what does that mean? In many a times we have seen whenever RBI reduced its repo rate by quarter basis point, the banks were not able to, or they were not willing, or they were not passing the same quarter basis point to the customers. So if say the RBI reduced it by 0.25, the bank used to transfer it like 0.10, 0.15. So to have the quick monetary transmission, so whenever the RBI reduce it by quarter basis point, so automatically the rates which are linked to the repo rate were also reduced simultaneously. So this was the motto. Alternate reference rate are more reliable and they are more robust because they are based on some transaction that has actually happened. So they are basically backward looking because the transaction has already happened, so there is no much scope for any manipulation. But the LIBOR were forward looking because they were based on the judgment of very few expert panel bankers who decided without having any underlying transaction. The LIBOR were unsecured. Alternate reference rate are based on some actual underlying transaction which has happened. So they are basically backward looking rate. And because they are backed by the securities, so they are collateralized. So they are risk free. And because they are risk free, so whenever there would be a transition from LIBOR to this risk free rate, so there will be some adjustment. So this credit adjustment will make the new benchmark slightly more costlier than the LIBOR. One more question will come, what will happen to the existing loans? So the legacy loans will continue till their maturity, but any new loan will be tied up with the alternate reference rate. The challenges for the bank could be they have to enter some fallback clauses in their loan documents because the old reference rate is LIBOR. So they have to take some additional documents from the customer. The second challenge for the bank could be they may fail to determine the alternate reference rate before this expiry. And for the customer, because there is some credit adjustment, credit spread adjustment, so the customer may be unwilling to move to the new alternate reference rate. So in that case, the bank will request the customer to foreclose their LIBOR linked borrowing. LIBOR transition is going to affect the many stakeholders. It's not only the banks, but there are many accounting firms, legal firms, the regulators, the real estate agents, the people having borrowings denominated in foreign currencies, and benchmark to LIBOR. So dear friends, soon I will be coming out with a new video about MSME registration because there are some changes mandated by the government. Hope you like this video. Kindly like, subscribe, and please leave your comments